Sometimes it's easier to work with rational exponents and sometimes it's easier to work with roots, and you can go back and forth depending on what's easiest for the problem. So I'm going to show you a reminder. Whatever's on the denominator becomes your root. So this is the third root of 8 squared, which is the third root of 64. Now, if I want to break this down, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Therefore, my solution here is 4. You can always put this in your calculator, and you would do that by going 8 raised to parentheses 2/3 power, and the parentheses, and that will give you 4. The second problem, since it's a negative, I can't do anything with it right now. So if I cross the line, I change the sign. So this is 64 to the 1/3 power, which is 1 over the third root of 64. And the third root of 64 is 4. I apologize, the third root of 64 is 4. I was correct the first time. X to the 3/2 power equals 25. I'm going to show you the easiest way to solve this. If you have 1x raised to an exponent, if you just multiply by the reciprocal on both sides, the 3's and the 2's will cancel, so I'm left with x to the first, or just x. And then in my calculator, 125 raised to 2 divided by 3 is 25. The next problem, this one's a little bit more difficult because we're going to do some factoring. But for us to factor, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set it equal to 0. So 3x to the 3/4, I'm going to subtract x to the 1/2, and I'm going to set it equal to 0. The next piece is I'm going to look at the two of these, and the smaller one is x to the 1/2, which means I'm going to factor x to the 1/2 out of each. And that really means I'm dividing it out. So when I take 3/4 and move the 1/2 up, I'm really doing the opposite, and I'm subtracting 1/2 and subtracting 1/2. 3/4 minus 1/2 is going to leave me with 3x to the 1/4 power. Minus 1 equals 0. The next step is I'm going to set each equation, or each factor, equal to 0. So there's a factor and there's a factor. Okay, so to solve this, I'm going to take the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1, or raise both sides to the second power. That will cancel. And x to the first equals 0 squared, which is 0. So one solution is 0. The next one, I'm going to move this over by adding it. So I have 3x to the 1/4 equals 1. Divide by 3. So x to the 1/4 power equals 1/3. So I'm going to raise it to the reciprocal, which is 4 over 1, and raise it to the reciprocal, which is 4 over 1. So I'm going to get x equals, I'm going to distribute the 4 to the 1, so 1 to the 4th power is 1, and 3 to the 4th power is 81, because I have to distribute to both pieces, and there's my two solutions. X equals 0, and x equals 1 over 81.